Gotcha. You know, one of those two Delta guys was actually a former Marine. He
Yep.
was one of the crossovers because that doesn't happen a
Yep.
ton. But I won't say I won't say his name. There's no point doing it. But I've always thought that those two guys. I wish more people knew that they'd gone, but nobody really does. I just have a couple more questions for you. This has been an absolutely fascinating interview. These are kind of the fun ones we like to end with. As everyone watching the show knows, I ask every tier one guy the exact same question. It is the SEAL Team 6 versus Delta Force. In your opinion, some guys take this question super seriously. Some guys have fun with it. There's no right or wrong answer. Don't worry about offending anyone.
Delta.
Between, yeah, why can you explain why Delta is a superior unit than SEAL Team 6 in your opinion?
So, in my opinion, it's the experience before you get there, right? So guys are already coming out of Ranger Battalions, SF community, the infantry guys, they know already they're already at another level before they even try out. Um, not so much with the SEAL teams and our counterparts in the Navy. They don't have that same like base knowledge. They're at a different level when they go start, right? And I guarantee if you talk to one of those guys, they say the same thing.
They
And
do.
uh, it, we just have, and it's a different also leadership kind of structure of things too, different atmosphere. Um, so yeah, number
I've
one, Army, go Army.
and one of the things every Delta guy, well, number one, I've asked that question to a handful of people. I mean, a bunch of people. Only one person's ever been super offended, and it was actually a Navy SEAL, and it wasn't even a SEAL Team 6 guy. It was just a regular Navy SEAL, and he got super pissed. But a lot of Delta guys say that your CQB is faster and better than theirs is. That you guys just do it better, you flood better. Is it just because you guys get better training? Is it because you have more time doing it? Like, why is Delta CQB across the board? They all say it's better. Why is that?
Well, I think that part of it is the level that you go into it with, right? So you got a different base level when you get there. So, and then you just keep refining that. And it is it's a different it's like a different mindset towards doing that kind of stuff, right? So when I say combat arms, so there's no in the Navy, there's no they don't start out with like infantry SF like combat oriented because they don't even have MOSs like that or military operational specialties, right? Their jobs aren't combat oriented. You know, they could be any number of things. I don't even know what the MOSs that are in the Navy are, but they're not running and gunning with guns and camouflaging your face and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the basic stuff we're talking about. Um, so it starts at a whole nother level, and then it gets better from there.
I'm going to kind of phrase this into the next thing, and this is a bit more of a serious, in-depth question on a similar topic. You see a lot of bad, negative PR news stories that come out about the SEALs. That whether it's drugs, entire groups getting fired, whatever it might be. You don't really see like there's not a flood of Delta stories, negative headlines. Granted, there's been issues. They're human. There's going to be issues. Is that a maturity thing? Why do you not hear about the same issues you do hear from the Navy SEALs? You don't hear anything like that coming out of Delta.
Yeah, I think uh so it's different with Dev Crew too though, because they're a little less because most of it you hear are from the rest of the other SEAL teams, right?
Right.
So Dev is a little bit better, a lot better than the other teams. I don't know. It's a different mindset, really. I mean, we're coming from a totally different place to begin with. Um, and again, that really, I think, sets the stage for all that stuff.
Gotcha. I am curious now. Uh, if you're in Delta, obviously you talk about how in
I'm going to hear
OTC.
it from all my guys that I know that were in dev too.
Well, trust me, your answer has been very diplomatic, kind of just sticking to
I
the
can't
your
wait.
points. I have had some Delta guys go in on that question, getting hyper specific. I'll tell when I stop when I'm done when we turn off the recording, I'll tell you the best answer I ever got. I can't repeat it and post it on the internet. But if you're Delta, you said mistakes are not tolerated in OTC. Really, once you're on a squadron, I've heard guys say it's the hardest job in the world to get and it's the easiest to lose. What are some examples of things that are guaranteed to get you fired from Delta Force if you do them?
It's all based on your decisions, right? Because in OTC, it's like, hey, that was one. Next time you're gone, right? In squadron, it might take on a more personal thing, right? Like, okay, hey man, you're not here today. You're something going on. You need to go take care of it and get back here when your head's straight. Um, so there's that, but there's also, I mean, if it's a serious thing in town or like a DUI or something like that, and you get into trouble that way, there's no tolerance for that. It's like you got to try to that's like, okay, you're gonna have to sit on the bench, and then where else do you want to work, kind of thing. Um, Over the years, though, I mean, it's still like, we know you're going through something, kind of thing. So it's more of a conversation, if because you know everybody and what they're going through, and so it's dealt with. It's not just like you're a problem child. Go if you're having an issue and it could be, you need help, then they're going to do that. But that's when you get into squatting and you're already rolling there for a while.
Is there more tolerance for mistakes that are performance based over like if you just turn out to be a shitty human and you just turn out to be, a bad person for lack of a better term,
Yep.
are they just going to cut ties and say see you later, as to where like if you're maybe you've been injured, you're not as quick in CQB, maybe they still phase you out, but it's dealt with in a much politer, softer way?
Yeah, kinda. It's I mean, it really it's really, you have to be ready, right? And if you're not ready, then all right, not a big deal. You're just not ready. Gonna have to go somewhere else. If it's a disciplinary thing, that's a whole nother thing. Um, yeah, there's no favoritism. I mean, it literally is a readiness thing. If I'm not ready and I know it, I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm not ready to go on this mission or whatever it is, right? And they're like, hey, Roger that. Thanks for saying that, right? Because there was a time that I had to do that, but there. So I've heard this other like analogy, um, like every day you show up for work and you might not, your badge might not work, right? It's like it doesn't work like that quite.